Hello, hello. Welcome back to another stream of Red Deer. My name is Red Deer. Tonight, I should say, we will be continuing our drawing of Purah. Hello, Polly23. I noticed your chat. Nice to have you again. How you doing? How you doing? It's always a pleasure to see you. Oh. Alrighty, before we get into it, I would like to talk about a little bit about how my time has been. So yesterday I went to a baseball game with my dad and my brother, and we had, before we went to the game, before we started the game, we had 2 shots of Fireball whiskey, and then it was a $4 beer night. So what happened was, $3 beer, I should say. So what happened was, I had 3 of those, and then my brother bought a local favorite, which is like 3 beers in a big can for each of us. So then I woke up this morning surprisingly okay. I just felt like I didn't sleep at all. And then, yeah, here I am. I'm doing all right, thanks. Throat is a little sour after my panic during Subnautica. But beside that, from that, all right. That's good to hear. That's good to hear, Polly23. It's very nice to hear that you're okay. Yeah, my throat's a little raspy. I don't know if you can tell. It's just from the pollen that's been going around. Because, you know, it's spring now. And then, like, the air conditioner in my house doesn't work, so we have to keep the windows open. Luckily, tonight, where I am, the weather is agreeable. I had a lot of fun at the baseball game. Lots of fun. Because by the time the first pitch was, by the time of the 5th inning was rolled around, ooh boy. Yeah, it was pretty great. Hold on, let me refresh here. Alrighty. Yeah, there we go. Turn that down. Sorry, taking a moment. Something spazzed out in the background here. Everything's good to go though. Everything's good to go. The music's good. Sounds good. Everything is actually working for me today, which is always a plus. So I got my reference material going. Uh-oh. I went live. I saw what happened was I went live on the wrong waiting room. So I have to change the link that in my tweet. I'm not going to close this because I went through too much trouble. Went through too much trouble to get it up. So I'm just going to change the link on my tweet. I knew something. Things are going way too well for me tonight. Okay. There it is. Gotta tell them, don't use that one. Use this one. Okay, cool. Now let's get going. Heck yeah. Alrighty. This is gonna be a chill stream, which is what I always hope to, which is always what I aim for whenever I stream. So what part of Purah will we be working on tonight? I just want to bring the I just want to bring this sketch closer to finished. I'll use my favorite shade of red. And then we can... Oh wait, hold on. There we go. So I'm not a professional by any means. Not a professional at all. Most of the art that I know how to do comes from, comes from like being self-taught, just having the eagerness to learn how to draw. My only real academic training, let's just have this droop just beneath her shoulders. They give that classy air of maturity to her overall vibe that she already has. And I kind of like it. The only class work I've ever had, the only classes I ever had for art were in high school. I had an alright teacher for our art class. I almost said her name, that would have been very bad. But she taught me the basics. She taught everyone the basics. And to understand your own limitations, and that's okay. And also to only draw what you see, which I think is a very useful mentality to adopt early on when you're starting out. Draw what you see and don't get hung up on the final picture. Because sometimes what you see in your mind won't always agree with what your hands can actually do. You just gotta keep at it. Maybe I absorbed all the bad luck yesterday. My stream, then, oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I think it just affects everyone. Sometimes you just have one of those days, things just don't line up properly. And then technology, it's like everything's good, everything's great, and then technology's like, I don't feel like working today. And I think our job as streamers is to just like roll with the punches. Because at the end of the day, it's not what's happened that should affect you. Hold on. It's not what's happened, it's your attitude toward what's happened. That'll affect you. And I feel having a great attitude, having a positive attitude toward it won't let things get to you too bad. Holy cow. How did this happen? Hello? For some reason I was hearing an echo on OBS. I couldn't figure it out, but it turns out I have two identical audio sources, but I labeled them differently. So then they're just echoing. Oh my goodness. That's okay. It's okay. Small price to pay. It's okay. Yeah, got my comfy music still. Golden. Yeah, exactly. You get me. Alright, back to the overcoat. I think I'll have it do this. Yeah. And then there's a design to it. I'll have to do that some other. I'll do the design portion of her coat some other time. Now, normally I would show my source material on stream. However, I can't verify the sources of some of the images I'm using because they are official in-game screenshots. However, I do have the pictures of the art book that was exclusive to those who pre-ordered the game, like a special edition of the game. And I don't think Nintendo would like it if I showed pictures of it on stream, because you know they go after everyone, even a little guy like me. So you gotta play it extra careful. I might send the ninjas after you. Yeah, you just never know. You just never know, because they might be lurking in the chat. They might be lurking in the chat right now. You just don't know. And they just don't show up in the chat number. Now, somebody pointed out to me, on the internet at least, that Purah may already be inside your walls. Oh my god, dude, stop it. No. Listening into my conversation. They probably don't like it that I'm calling them out. They're already phoning Miyamoto. It's like, we have one. But in Japanese. So someone pointed out to me, or I noticed, somebody pointed it out on Reddit, that Purah has always had like 3 straps on her chest, or on her outfit when she was younger. And so that design philosophy is carried over onto her adult version. However, the bottom strap is undone. Or in your refrigerator. Well, it's a good thing I got all my snacks, I got my water. I don't have to go to the fridge. Oh, wish I could fit in my fridge. Especially on the hot summer days. I want to make sure they line up. So I'll do like a box like this. And then, yeah, they knew what they were doing over at Nintendo. Everybody's obsessed with the cutesy younger girls, and then they make Purah older. Look a little older. Which is nice. Not too much older, but just mature vibes. Hold on, I messed that up. And most of this is gonna look a little weird, but it's just a sketch. I think I've said this before, but you don't put too much obsession on what your sketches look like, because you know they're just sketches. You're gonna change it later. You do wanna, at least the way I do it, you do want to get it as close to what you want the final thing to look like as you can, because you are gonna have to remember, you are gonna have to fix it. So you may as well get it as close to right away. But if you can't, that's fine. It's fine, I think. It's more like a proof of concept for yourself. There we go. Yeah. I'll get rid of these for now. Looks about right. And the one thing that remains my bane of existence is the hands. I still can't draw fingers right. But, you know, can't avoid them all the time. Sometimes you just have to face your demons. haven't actually decided what I want her fingers to be doing. I'm excited to see how this comes out. I'm not a skilled artist in the slightest, and this looks pretty good so far. Well, thank you very much. I try my best. I really do try my best. Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna put off the fingers a little bit longer. I'm gonna go to her eyes. Go back to her eyes. Something's not working for me here. Oh, okay, I think I understand what's going on here. I think I might. Yeah, okay. I think I might understand. And then, oh, another thing that works for some reason. It just works for some reason. When you flip the canvas, all your mistakes or things that don't look right just pop out. I don't quite understand the... Oh no. Drop my pen. I don't quite understand the phenomenon. It just works. Oh, that looks bad. There we go. Yeah, like I said, I'm mostly self-taught. You know, I actually got I started out drawing the Legend of Zelda characters when I was much younger. I really liked Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I used to draw Link all the time. And then I stopped because of school. Maybe because it's from a different angle or perspective, it stands out more? Yes. Because you get that makes sense, because you get used to seeing certain shapes and patterns. So then as soon as you change it, it's like fresh. So everything stands out. That makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, I think that's better. I think that'll work. Yeah, I don't know if you played Breath of the Wild, but Purah was like, she looked like she was like 6 years old. Very small lady. And then what happened was she was experimenting. This is a mild spoiler for Breath of the Wild. I won't be spoiling Tears of the Kingdom, but I will be spoiling Breath of the Wild just a teensy tiny bit so that people understand. Or so that we understand why Purah looks the way she does in Tears of the Kingdom. It's because she experimented with the anti-aging, or some kind of youth serum for Link. I won't get too much into detail as to why, but Link had to be put in a resurrection chamber for 100 years. And it wouldn't do anyone any good if he died in there, so they had to come up with a solution to keep him from aging. And then Purah, being the mad scientist that she is, experimented on herself. And it worked a little too well for her. She went from 100, wrinkly, to essentially a little kid in a week. Then she adjusted the serum for Link to stop his aging. And away they went. And then I guess we can surmise, based on that information, that she used it again. So now, she's hot. Yeah. There's no sophisticated way of saying that. Let's just say it the way it is. Seems like a success, I suppose. Yeah, it was a massive success. Massive success. Although she was like a little too when in the first game she was like way too energetic and kind of annoying. But then now she's a lot more mellow. She still has her personality quirks because you know some things never change, no matter how old or how young you get. But she's a lot more. She has an air of maturity to her. I suppose she understands the responsibility that comes with being the smartest person, one of the smartest people in Hyrule. Kind of like how Link understands his role as one of the bravest. And then, you know, there's Zelda. I don't know. I think, okay. I used to be a big Z-Link, Zelda Link shipper when I was back in my youth. But then as I got older, I started to realize, you know, maybe the princess, she's a little overrated. I'll say, especially in Breath of the Wild, she was a little. Well, in Link's memories, she wasn't. You know, she was a kid. Everyone around her was living up to their potential, and then there was her, all jealous and mopey. And then, without revealing too much. It's like, you know, it's like, she's still a little bit like that. I don't know. What can you do? Anyway. Gotta admit, I don't know much about the franchise. When I first learned about it and before I looked too close, I thought the cliche thing was Link was named Zelda. Yes. Yeah, and it's a common mistake a lot of people make because it's the easiest mistake to make. Is that the main character's name is always in the title. So everyone thinks, oh, the character I play as is Zelda. Huh. Like, actually, no. I really don't know why Nintendo did that. It was about Zelda and her descendants and her ancestors in Hyrule, but it should have been like the Tales of Zelda or something. No, that's what legend means. Never mind. But yeah, it's an old joke. But no, the main character's name is Link. I don't want to go too much detail in this, because then it gets messy and I won't be able to see what I'm doing. I mean, I have no idea Zelda was a character. I thought the game was a Legend of the Player character. Yeah, and then the thing is, most of the time... No, I completely agree with you. It is hilarious looking back on it, but I agree with you, because, like, you don't... At least the Zelda games I played, and it's a good chunk, you don't meet Zelda until, like, you're at least 3 or 4 hours into the game. So you have no idea who Zelda even is most of the time. And I know in A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS, you don't even know who the princess is until like an hour in. You don't know that there is a princess until like an hour in. And then she's like, oh, Zelda, it's the hero. It's like, wait, I thought I was Zelda. It's like, no, you're Link. Remember? Your uncle said it. Or were you busy mashing the button so you could play? Totally didn't do that, by the way. Yeah. Oh, and then I remember in the past you could change Link's name. I kind of need those. Now her glasses go in front of her hair. At least in all the sources I'm using. Okay, I think I can make the bottom part here. I have to remember that this part is. Okay. Yeah, I still don't understand why they named this series the way they did. Because, you know, Legend of Korra. Who's that show about? Tong, obviously. Toph. Yeah, Toph. Toph is the main character. Legend of Korra. I said Tong. Who the hell is Tong? That's a different. This is gonna be a different layer. It's been years since I watched Avatar. I don't think I remember anything about it. I just know that those were good days to be a kid, watch some good shows. I know you won't be able to see this triangle looking thing, but I gotta draw it so I know where it is. Her belt buckle. I recently started watching it. I'm surprised I missed it back when I was a kid. Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I have no recollection of it whatsoever, but I heard that it was like, it was part of the peak writing of Nickelodeon at the time. Avatar: The Last Airbender. And then The Legend of Korra came out because, you know, it has to. Something like that. You gotta have a follow. I mean, something as successful as Avatar, it's gonna have a follow-up because people want it. And it was necessary. And they made it. And then that was good too. And just like The Last Airbender, it vanished. Poof. And I remember watching, I can't remember what channel Totally Spies was on, but I remember that one. Children's TV peaked on Cartoon Network not long after as well. Clone Wars is phenomenal. I agree. Clone Wars was phenomenal. Holy hell. We had to wait a very long time for them to finish it. We had a couple filler episodes, which we didn't have, but it was a masterpiece. Man, oh man. I remember at the end of, what was it, chapter 7? No, season 7. When Darth Vader walks onto that planet, he picks up Ahsoka's lightsaber. That scene just, man, made me cry. I'm not afraid to admit that, it made me cry. God, the feels, yeah. Because you feel the weight of everything that Anakin had lost in that moment. And there might even be a moment where he holds that lightsaber and he thinks that even Ahsoka is gone. And there's nothing left of Anakin Skywalker. Unless, of course, you watched Rebels beforehand. Did I watch Rebels? I've watched clips of Rebels. I never got around to it, unfortunately. I keep meaning to, but I've watched clips of Ahsoka's duel with Darth Vader and how it was kind of open-ended. It's like, oh, did Ahsoka die? Did she live? It's like, yeah, she lived. I saw Mandalorian. She's in that one. Ahsoka and Vader, that made me cry. Yeah, absolutely. I do like that they made Ahsoka a gray Jedi. I don't see how anybody could be supportive of the Jedi Council after what they did to Ahsoka. So arrogant. So sure that they are in the right simply because they're not in the dark side. Ah, crap, man. Ah, crap. Hold on. I'm getting weepy. It was on the whole is alright, not great. You can tell Disney wasn't willing to let them do all the same stuff Cartoon Network let them do, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, I remember. I didn't watch it, but I do remember reading on the internet about how upset people were that not only was Disney they canceled Clone Wars, and then they were gonna force Rebels onto you, and they were gonna not be Star Wars, and you were gonna like it. That didn't sit right with anybody. Uh-oh. What happened to my music? Uh-oh. I played a little bit of Hololive. Dooku has a wonderful quote regarding the Jedi Council and how Yoda embodies everything wrong with it. Yes. Yes, I remember that quote. There's something along the lines of it. You sit next to the corruption long enough, you become I can't remember it. But I do know that it was really good. He was right. Because Yoda was he was the Grand Master for hundreds, 300, 400 years. And then in all that time, he worked with the Republic. And so he became completely numb to the corruption of it. He could no longer see it because he'd gotten so used to it. And that clouded his judgment. I remember something like that, yeah. Yoda was either complacent or complicit in the rot that had set in. Yeah, it was great. Dooku was right. There was something very wrong with the Jedi. I mean, the Sith Lord that they were looking for was right there under their noses, and they couldn't see it. And I don't know why it was like that. It was almost as if it's oh, there's no way we'd miss that. Oh man. Hold on, I gotta reorder my layers here. I don't label my layers, which I think is a big mistake. No, those are her parts. No, what the? Okay, hold on. Where is it? There it is. What's that doing up here? Ah, shit. Okay, there we go. There. The coat is on top. The idea that a Sith Lord could have attained such power in the Republic undetected was so inconceivable to them that they wouldn't even consider it to be true when Dooku told Obi-Wan. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That sounds about right. They thought it must have been some trick. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. That sounds about right. That sounds about what they would... It's probably exactly what they were thinking. Man, oh man, oh man. Especially Mace Windu. Man, I don't know. The way he treated Anakin, despite knowing what it is like to just walk a thin line between light and dark, reminds me a lot of the Chinese imperial government during the Opium Wars in certain ways. Man, oh man, oh man. You know, as curious as I am about that story, because I remember it in history, just a tiny bit, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to stop you, because that's not a direction that's not a direction I can go. I want to go on the channel, if that's all right with you. This is like, I know what you're talking about. We're gonna stop it right there, because sometimes some bots will be like programmed to think it's like, oh, this word was used, oh, we're gonna spam here. You know what I mean? I'm just being like, maybe I'm just being paranoid, because you're totally fine. It's just, it's just the first thing that came to mind. It's like, I know, because Clone Wars and politics just go like hand in hand, and it's just natural, because you see the parallels between what was said and what was done in Star Wars and what has happened in real life, and it's really easy to make that connection, because that's the connections I think that George Lucas made. No, I totally get you. I totally get you. Anyway, let's see here. I can't decide if this is, because there's like a design band, like a ribbon, a thick ribbon that goes along the coat. Because it looks like a combination of, it's so poofy, it looks strange. This is like a long coat, like a fancy scientist coat. I can't decide how much of it I want to draw. Yeah. And then I don't know, I was just thinking about Disney and the movies. I'm kind of tired of superhero films and superhero movies. And I'm a little tired of Star Wars stuff too. It's like, I don't hate Star Wars now, it's just that I'm kind of tired of seeing it. I want to see something new. Because I was thinking I was gonna go watch Guardians of the Galaxy. I think later on today, in the afternoon. Or tomorrow, if you prefer. And I was just thinking, because I remember reading that it was a good film, and I thought, okay, because I'm kind of tired of watching superhero movies. I feel like they're the new westerns. They used to be like, back in the day, they were like western films all the time in the theater, and everybody would go to watch them, until one day people got sick of them. And I feel like the superhero movies are the new westerns, exquisitely made, and they're gems that deserve the credit that they get. It's just, I'm kind of tired of them. But anyway, I think they've oversaturated things a bit. I watched GOTG3, and it was pretty good, but on the whole, the recent stuff they've put out just hasn't grabbed me the way they used to. There's so many. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 I've heard was really good. Like, I've said that before. But I feel like they've saturated their own market, which is not good. Like, the only real competition they had was DC. But in reality, what was happening was they were making so many of them that they were really competing with themselves. So then you have movies that really hit good, they didn't hit, but they hit well, like Spider-Man. And then the okay ones that I liked, but wasn't everyone's cup of tea, was Doctor Strange. And then you have Ant-Man. All Marvel, but 3 completely different qualities of film. But then you're just gonna go look and it's like, I should have just stayed home, or I should have waited until this was on like Disney Plus. I shouldn't have gone to the theater. And going to the theater is expensive. Because I'm already paying for streaming services. Why don't I just wait? Why don't I just watch the movie on the streaming service? The main competitor was DC. Oh, sorry, I forgot about DC. No, I'm kidding. I liked the new Batman. I think, I don't know what their deal was, but they've had so many problems. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Does it have something to do with the writers? The writer's strike? I don't really know. And another thing was, the hell was his name? The guy who directed, Dan Schneider? Is that his name? Zack Snyder, that guy. He makes good film. He makes fun cinema. I'll give him that. But he knows how to make a good movie that's fun a good action movie that's fun to watch. But it's just like, that guy's kind of a prick. Guy's an ass. Didn't want to read the comics. And I knew he didn't know what he was doing when I saw Batman with a gun. It's like, Batman doesn't hold guns. What is he doing? Even in a dream sequence. It's like, no. What are you doing? Batman doesn't call himself Bruce in his mind. I feel like DC's main issue was trying to emulate the MCU by having a big crossover film with all the characters, but there was no real build up to it. It's like they kind of wanted to speed run Endgame. Like a speed run to Endgame. Zack Snyder definitely didn't know what he was doing either. Yeah, he's just making it up as he went along. He wanted to make his own thing. He didn't want to do exactly what the comics were doing. He wanted to make his own version of the characters. It's like, that's respectable if you're using not Batman, a character that everybody knows and expects to be at least a certain way. And Superman, who steals innocent people's clothes in Man of Steel. So that's not something Superman would do. He would probably find a way to cover himself up, knock on the door and ask, "Excuse me, can I borrow some clothes?" And he would just kind of have an awkward moment between the woman trying not to look at a handsome man. He's just kind of picking the clothes that fit him, and then he just kind of shuffles away. I see, that would be funny, but no, he didn't do that. He went in, saw the clothes, took them. Like, that's not Superman, that's a dickhead. That's Omni-Man. Omni-Man would do that. Homelander would do that. Not Superman. At least in my perspective. I don't know, maybe Omni-Man would do the same thing. Nah, I don't know. I didn't watch enough of that. Oh, there's so many things I'm behind on. There's so many shows, so many movies that I need to watch. I just don't have time. Hope that in the reboot of the series after The Flash, they decide to make the movies more colorful. The Batman comics are usually pretty colorful, and not all dark colors. Yes, that's another thing too. They use too many film filters. It's like, what the heck is going on? It's almost like they have, they make money off of film filters, and they gotta use as many as possible. It just doesn't pencil. It doesn't make any sense. Why is everything so dark and gritty? Are they maybe they're trying to establish a visual, what's the term? A visual distinctiveness from a DC film versus a Marvel film. That way when you look at a film, a DC film, you know, hey, that's a DC movie. and you don't mistake it for a Marvel movie. But then it's like nobody's gonna look at Batman and think, "Oh, that's Marvel." No, it's just not gonna happen. I don't want to believe it would happen anyway. I mean, that's the best thing I can think of. I have no real knowledge or first primary sources on what I said. It just said, I don't know why else they would be so obsessed with making everything so dark and gritty, essentially turning every villain into the Joker. I did like Wonder Woman 84. I thought that one was okay. Was it 84? Was it 85? Was it 86? I can't remember. All I'm doing is drawing a pretty lady from a video game. '84 was pretty good. Was surprised by it, honestly. Yeah, it was really good. I like Chris Pine's character too. He's like a good old fat. It was good to see him again with Wonder Woman, because I liked the first one too. I really liked his character, the good old fashioned American hero, and the way they characterized Diana. Essentially, yeah, she was basically like a Captain America, but a little more naive and a bit clumsy. And definitely a fish out of water, which I appreciated a lot. Because I don't have a whole lot of knowledge of Wonder Woman's early days. So it just felt right. To me, anyway. It felt right that she wasn't just swooping in and telling everybody what was what. She was like, oopsie. Oh, you don't have, what is it? You don't use a sword? Or something like that. Oh my god. Yeah, it was been. And those were good movies back then. It's hard to do that trope right, but I think they did a good job of it, right? Do yourself a favor and don't read too much about the early appearances of the characters in comics. There are some things that have not aged well. Okay, yeah, I've heard about that. Like, I remember... Oh, what is that? Or just weird things that were common in that era of comics. Well, I know, they were out there. Like all the bandages and stuff. I do know that in the new I can't remember what was it. Was it New 52? I can't remember. I know that there was a version of the Joker that cut off his face. Oh, the the bondage. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think I do know that in the comics, Thanos, he didn't give a shit. The comic Thanos didn't care about resources or saving people's lives or anything like that. He was trying to get in bed with Lady Death. And he thought that by killing half of bondage, not bandage. No, I get you. Yeah, autocorrect. You don't use bondage a whole lot, so didn't think you were trying to say that. So that, there's your saving grace. Not that there would be anything wrong with that, of course. I'm not here to judge. But no, I remember reading somewhere about there was a version of Spider-Man who killed I like movie Thanos better than comic Thanos. Comic Thanos just seems too one note. Yeah, he wanted to get laid. He was a simp. That was the only reason why he did it. Not a whole lot of deep to him. No. Depth. Sorry, depth. No. I feel like they did him right. And I do know that there was a version of Spider-Man who killed Mary Jane because of his radioactive semen. I was like, huh, yeah, that's the comic. That's Skella Ossi got him acting unwise. I mean, you seen some depictions of Lady Death? I mean, like, just in the Deadpool video game, she was kind of hot. You know, for Skeleton, she had it going on. I'd be longing for Death's sweet embrace too. If that's what Death looked like. I would wipe out half the universe's lives for it, though. No way. Pardon me. I got allergies. And unfortunately, my allergy medicine has worn off. I am now wide awake. Sure you wouldn't. Yeah, okay, you know. No, I don't have that power. I'm just a deer. Half the forest population would have to do. But no, it doesn't end up working. Because she's in love with Deadpool. Or at least one version of her is. Sure you do, you just gotta believe in yourself. Yeah. No, I think, no. Lady Death, I feel, no. You know, I think someone like Purah would be more obtainable for someone like me. You know, the brainiac scientist. Nerdy. Okay, if you put your mind to it and try hard enough, I have faith you could be the biggest genocidal maniac the universe has ever seen. Well, thank you. I appreciate that you have that kind of confidence in me. I do. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Alright, so how much of this skirt am I gonna draw? Because I kind of want to do the thing where it's like... Hold on, you know how in some of those older paintings, they'll have something like that? Hold on, gotta use the right brush. I'll have something like this toward the end, toward the bottom. I kind of want to do something like that. But not quite like this, you know? I think that did too many. No, okay, that's good. Yeah, something like that. So I don't want to draw too much of it. But at the same time, I just noticed something in her design. She's got red tights. Okay, I gotta show you. I gotta show this on stream. Hold on, I gotta show you. Where is it? Here it is. Uh-oh. Hey. No, this one. I want this one. Look, I know Nintendo might be knocking on my door, but I don't care. I gotta show you. Where is it? Oh my god, okay. You know, maybe that's not such a hot idea to do. Now I'm determined. I will not be defeated so easily. There we go. Alright, so you can see here. I did notice this. But like right here, this is not a skirt, this is like some kind of, what is the term? Like a doily? Kind of? A type fabric? So there's a pattern, but it's see-through. So this is actually her thigh. Right here, because she's got red tights on. This is her thigh. I don't want to miss out on drawing that part. You know what I mean? Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to put that in. And that's another thing, too. I remember I tweeted out on Twitter, because where else would you tweet? I was going to talk about the direction of the channel a little bit. It's like, I'm going to be a little more honest. I mean, I'm not going to go overboard on the, you know, the crude humor, because I know that's not really my thing. But like in the past, I would try my best to avoid it. It's like, but now it's like I've gotten to the point where it's like okay, I'm not gonna go out of my way to do it. But if there's like a chance to make a sex joke, and it's tasteful, it's like I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna say the joke. Because I'm not an idol, I'm a streamer. I feel like I'm a gamer. I'm not an idol. And I feel like that it's like, yeah, that's who I am. I'm just here to have fun. I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to entertain anyone and everyone who comes in. And then that's the kind of like how, I don't know if you're familiar with Vine Sauce, Vinny. He makes the he's an older streamer. He's been in the game for a while now. He kind of has a very dry sense of humor, but if there's like a chance to make a sexual humor, he'll just say the joke, but that's usually not his direction. That would be nice, personally, to go that way sometimes. And another thing is I don't know. I wanna mix in. Gotta do what feels good for you, my friend. Thank you, Polly23. I appreciate that. And yeah. And I feel like, I can't, because I'm not like most, I want to say I'm not like most VTubers on Twitch, or like most popular streamers on Twitch, where they were like shout and they're like really energetic and all that. It's like I don't have that kind of energy in my tank. So while I am a VTuber so that I could like play a character, I have reached a point where it's like, why can't like Red Deere, the VTuber, Deere, overlap, some portions of him overlap with me. You know what I mean? So then it's like, I am playing a character, but then the character's kind of like me. He's not me, but he's like me. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I figured, I've been doing this long enough. Next month will be my half-year anniversary. And that was around the time I was going to make my decision of what exactly I wanted to do with the channel. I've decided I'm going to keep at it. Growth has been slow, but growth is growth. And it's honestly blown my expectations out of the water. I think I've said it several times in the past that when I started out, I fully expected like 0 subscribers, 0 viewers. I get what you mean. I've written a bunch of stories, and I feel like most of the characters people create have at least a part of themselves in them. Yeah, because you're drawing from. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, those make the best characters. is you do what's familiar. And not only that, but before I was a VTuber, I was a voice actor for a number of years. And it was very tempting to do a voice, like some kind of voice. But then when it came right down to it, I looked at my design and I thought about what would be comfortable. And I figured, like, why not just my own voice? Because this is my own voice. I do alter a little bit the way that I talk. But other than that, yeah, this is who I am. This is how I sound in the day-to-day. Because now I'm thinking about the way I talk. Because normally I don't know. I don't really know how to put my accent, the way I speak. Kind of like, I guess, neutral. Cause I'm from. I won't hide too much. I won't reveal too much, but you know, I'm from the West Coast. There's really not much variation in speech on the West Coast of the United States or Canada. Except for, you know, a couple things here and there, but they're like, you know, they're more word choice, slang. Not so much accent like in Boston or New York or New Jersey, where you can tell right away. Or even like in Quebec or Toronto. Like, yeah, you know right away that guy's Quebec, he's Quebecian, that guy's from Saskatchewan. It's more like Seattle, Vancouver. I don't know if any of that makes any sense. But yeah, where was I going with this? I kind of started rambling there. Sorry about that. You know, funny thing you bring up stories. I'm not too knowledgeable about West Coast accents. I just thought, sorry. I was just like, I switched a button to voice actor, and it was like, I don't know, no. I didn't think about it. So, the point I was trying to make is, in the U.S. and Canada, for some reason, on the East Coast, there's like a lot of, you're familiar, I'm sure. But I'm from the South and have never heard someone speak with that stereotypical Southern accent. Yeah, see, there you go. There you go. So it's like their defined manners of speech on the East Coast. Like, you can tell the difference between someone from Albany from someone who grew up in Alabama. Albany, New York has a certain way of talking versus someone from like Dunwoody, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. But then when you move over to the West Coast, someone from Oregon sounds identical from someone in it who grew up in Los Angeles, like identical. And then when you go to like San Francisco, most people sound exactly the same as people who grew up in Seattle. And same with Vancouver versus Edmonton, the same accent, indistinguishable. But then you move to the East Coast, someone who grew up in Quebec, Canada, will sound very distinct from someone from Toronto. I hope that makes sense. I'm just kind of flying over as much, compiling my admittedly limited knowledge. Oh my god. Oh. But then, like, Texan accent is distinct enough from a Georgian accent. Yeah, I've noticed similar stuff here, with the major obvious exceptions of New Jersey and Boston. Yeah, Boston. It might just be hard for me to tell accents, though. Yeah, you know, yeah, that's true. That's very true. It could just be a very difficult thing for most. It's, because I guess from my upbringing. Hold on. Let me try to make sense. Because I studied extensively accents from the day I decided I wanted to be a voice actor to I can't remember how long ago. And it just like once I started listening for certain vowel sounds, I could pick them up right away. And accents, because I really wanted to get them right. And I felt like it would help me if I could sound authentic. It would help me pick up more roles. Fast forward, and he's like, it doesn't really matter how authentic you can sound if you're not that great of an actor, if you can't convey the character and what they're supposed to be like. It doesn't matter how close you are to authentic. Acting is the most important aspect of voice acting. How did we get here? Yes. Yeah, don't worry about not being able to pick up on accents. You recognize that there is a difference when you do recognize it, and then if you don't, you don't. You'll live never realizing the differences. There's nothing wrong with that. Just kind of rambling on here. Personally, me, I'm rambling because it's like 1:16 in the morning. I didn't sleep very well last night, and my Benadryl that I took wore off. I guess this is what they call a stink brain. Because I know again, I reference Vine Sauce. When his brain stops working, I should say, he enters what he calls stink brain mode. Or smooth brain mode. Or things just aren't making a whole lot of sense. Say I've reached that point. I'm gonna keep going because I'm wide awake. I don't want to go to bed yet. I want to keep sketching this. I know what you mean by that. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I've been putting it off, but it's time to get the fingers. Just suddenly your brain goes, wait, how did I get here? What am I doing? Where are my pants? And all that. That's a good question. I don't know where my pants went. I had them on when I started the stream. No, I'm kidding. They're still on. Yeah, they're still on. I think it was like you kind of fall asleep a little. then you wake up and you're like, whoa, hold on. I forgot the last 6 minutes. Sus. No, I have pants on. I've got shorts on because it's a little warm. You know, what difference does it make what I'm wearing on my legs, huh? You can't see it. What's the word that a lot of poets or writers like to use? It's like it's up to the viewer's interpretation. I will not confirm or deny whether or not I am wearing pants. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave you in suspense. I'm fairly certain Knuckles go like this. Because I want to keep these 3 fingers here. I'll keep these 3 fingers here. I'll have the index finger here. One thing I don't like about drawing hands, and I try to avoid it as much as I can. This one I kind of I drew myself into a corner. But I really want the pose. Is that this finger, this pointer finger here. So I don't, because what people don't realize, and what I didn't realize until very recently, is that the finger is 3 segments, not just 2. You have this very top part where your nail is, and you have the fold, and you have the middle segment, and then you have the skin fold, and then you have a 3rd segment that actually goes into the knuckle, and then there's the metacarpals or whatever the hell they're called, but you can't see that part. That's your hand bone. I'm talking about your finger bone. Technically, you have no hand bones. They're all finger bones. But you know, I can see a finger. I can't see the bones in my hand. Okay, you get what I mean. The finger is 3 segments. Like this. Yeah. Like that. Actually, hold on. This. Just a little bit. I don't know what the angle. All I know about bones is that humans have too many. You know, we actually lose bones as we get older. Because what happens is the human brain, the human skull, is like a bunch of pieces. I think it's to make it easier for the woman to push out a child, because it makes the head kind of squishy. But then as you get older, the bones start to fuse together and the skull begins to solidify. How greedy are we as a species that we can't share them with some of the other animals? That is a good point. There are similarities between bones of different animals, but the thing is, we can't, I don't know, because now I got this image in my mind, like somebody needing a hand transplant, and then they get a monkey. They transplant a monkey hand onto the dude. Or maybe a monkey needs a hand, and then they get one from a human, and they give the monkey the human hand. And it's compatible. Literal monkey's paw. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Yeah, just imagine it. Actually, no, don't. Don't imagine it. It's kind of... Oh, yeah, because then imagine you had a monkey hand. It would be no different, but it would be a little thicker, and you would have to, like, shave it. Yeah, unless you don't want to do that. It's like, I got a monkey hand, monkey's paw. Ooh. basically as I work on one part of the drawing, my subconscious will kick in and it'll start thinking about a different part of the drawing. And then when I get stuck in one spot, or I get tired of that one spot, my brain will be like, hey, I've got an idea for this other part. You should go work on it. And then I go and work on it. And then the cycle continues. Over and over and over. Trying not to use the same color too much, because then it becomes a visual mess of what is what when I sketch. This will be the general shape of this part here. This goes here. Design here. Kind of. I don't know, that might be too complicated for me. I'll have to simplify the design. This goes underneath? Can't remember. I mean, I don't really know how to simplify this. Go under the code, I think. Yeah. Now, whenever I get free time, I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom a lot. I would stream it, but I can't. I don't have a capture card. And then I've been looking into capture cards, but I can't find one with any that sound reliable. Every time it's like, oh, this Elgato one. This one's a reasonable price for what I wanted to do. How does it do? And then you hear about it desyncing. I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, it's just like they're expensive, very expensive, and then sometimes they don't work properly. Like I've heard stories about how some capture cards, the audio will just like blip out, and then you have to download this driver, and then but if you have this driver operating at the same time, you gotta have this, otherwise you'll get this. And I know that there's another streamer that I watch, another VTuber that I watched on Twitch, Lime Malicious, also part of the Vine Sauce umbrella. At some point she had to use 2 different capture cards. One for the audio and the other one for the video, because the one that did one of them like stopped recording and broadcasting audio, and so she had to get a new one, just like a cheap one, just to do the audio, because the video on that one was not good. But they both ran her like $200 each. It's like, oh god, that sounds like a nightmare. But at the same time, I got old games I want to stream on my GameCube, like Resident Evil. Yeah, that's the big problem with capture cards. It's hard to find good ones that can do audio and video. Right. And so it's just like, so maybe maybe I'll do emulator games. But I can't, I'm not part of a company. I'm not monetized. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Because I have a Dreamcast emulator think I might play Daytona USA. Maybe the original Sonic Adventure one day. It's like, it doesn't matter if I use an emulator, as long as it's not Nintendo, right? Because Nintendo will care. Everyone else doesn't seem like they really mind. And the thing is, I own the games. I own the physical copy of Sonic Adventure when it was re-released on the GameCube, Sonic Adventure DX. I think it's perfectly fine if I stream the classic Dreamcast version on an emulator. Yeah? Yeah. At least, you know, I think it's fine. Oh, have Vampire Masquerade, Bloodlines. Although, there was a part where you go to Chinatown. That part did not age well. Because they have all kinds of... I guess the only thing I could think of is like stereotypical Asian sounds. Or Chinese sounds. It's like, that's gonna make me uncomfortable. Oh yeah, it's like it is very... It is peak 2004 PC games. Like edgy. It's edgy. And then, you know, the thing is, it's fine. You do need to like download a patch for it to even function on modern systems. But for the most part, it's a solid game. Very immersive, vampire. What it's like to be a vampire in a big city. And it actually like plays it more like a noir game, where you're basically you're sneaking around investigating things for people. You're essentially like a midnight detective in the game, and you got vampire powers. But it's just like, yeah, at the end game when you go to Chinatown, you're just walking around. For some reason, every corner you go to, you just hear high-pitched kung fu sounds. People making Asian-sounding noises. It's like, that's clearly not an Asian person, one. And it's like, no. No, maybe not. Maybe not. That one. You know, I don't know. It's an idea. And then I also have other games I want to pick back up too, but the thing is, because I started playing Fable Anniversary, the original, like a little while back, and I haven't touched the game in a while. I want to get back to it, but I just don't. Sometimes you're streaming a game, you're doing a series, and you just don't feel like playing that game. You'll come back to it, but you just don't feel like playing it, so you want to play something else. But then you start too many games, and you hardly finish. But then you want to go back to the games to finish them, but then you don't really want to play them, and that's an issue. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I think I'm overthinking it. There's no key for it, so I'm just gonna make it up. So it goes down like this. Let's just be done with that. It looks some kind of it has similarities with the ancient Sheikah designs from the first game, from Breath of the Wild, I mean. Sorry to say, but I'm gonna have to head out. Exhaustion is kicking in, and I've gotta have a meeting. You know, that is absolutely cool. I am just very grateful that you came by at all. Polly 23. So you rest well, my dude. My dude, my guy, my lady, Polly 23. Have a good one. I am very thankful you came today. I really am. I look forward to seeing you again whenever you can. Come in. So, have a good sleep. Have a good look at your meeting. I hope it goes smooth. The drawing looked great so far. Sorry I missed the last couple of streams. I'll see you around. No, don't worry about it. You come when you can. You're here now. You were here when I started, and you're here till now. And I look forward to seeing you again whenever you can, okay? I know we're all busy. So get some rest. Get some rest. I'll see you next time. See you around. Yeah, have a good night. And thank you. Thank you. Yeah, those are the moments we live for as a streamer. I feel. Oh, I know Polly's probably not here anymore, but in the case he is, to answer his question about the white guy who was born and raised in China, speaks English with a Chinese accent. There are a lot of cases where I know, at least in Japan, there are some people who were their ethnicity, their ancestry, there's not Japanese. They are Norwegian, for example. But then they were born and raised to speak Japanese. So then they don't speak what many would consider their native tongue. So then when they do learn their native tongue, it's with an accent, naturally. And then, people make fun of them because it's just like, it happens. It sucks for them. It really does. I wish it wouldn't happen like that, but it happens. And then you can't really change people's perception on things. That's another thing too. Sometimes perception affects how you see reality. And sometimes your perception of how things are warps your ability to see what reality is. So you have to be, I think mindfulness is extremely important when it comes to, when it comes to a situation like that where you're talking to someone who looks like an Englishman or an English woman, and they have the thickest, Japanese, Chinese accent you've ever heard when they speak English. It's like, just try to understand the possibility that they probably grew up with a different language than what you believe they should have. Because the world is a big place. People are moving all over the place for all kinds of different reasons. People are gonna pick things up. going into politics, but I feel like it has to, I don't know. No. I don't know. It's difficult to approach this. I feel like in general we need, as humans, we should strive to be more understanding of our fellow man. I know that might come across as naive, or maybe even too optimistic, but I truly believe that we can be people who should practice more understanding. And we can stand to do better. Most of us are already there, but I'm probably preaching to the choir, because people who come here, you're probably already awesome. You probably already know the whole, if it's between two consenting adults, who cares? People's merits, people's accomplishments. Person to person, their accomplishments just decide whether or not they get to do what they want to do. You guys know that. You guys already understand it as a fact. And I do too. We just don't live in that kind of world. Where everybody understands fact is fact. Some people, it goes back to perception. And then it becomes messy and it becomes difficult to traverse. And I'm just a little guy who has no business opening his mouth about these sorts of things, because he just wants to draw a pretty girl who, makes him feel things. Is it so wrong? That's all I want to do. No, I don't think so. Oh, and you know what? Another thing I wanted to point out is everyone in The Legend of Zelda, everyone who has ears, they have pointy ears. I love pointy ears. Purah, you can't see her ears, so I don't get to draw them, and that sucks because I love to draw pointy ears. I could do it anywhere, but it's gonna look weird. Oh, what can you do? I wish I was. The one thing I wish I was when it comes to drawing is faster. I wish I was a little faster at the very least sketching. I also have another drawing I need to finish up. Oops, that's the wrong one. I'm on the wrong layer too. So I want to work on the hair here. I just want to work, because there's another drawing I need to finish up. Because that one, can't tell too much about it, but God damn it. It's already in the coloring phase. And I finished the line art and I'm in the coloring phase now. God, Purah's really, whoever designed her for this game, God, I hope they're getting paid a lot. I feel like they nailed it. Because I feel like there are too many characters, and like in Genshin, where where the character is obviously very, very much more knowledgeable than most of the people they know, and than most of the people that we know. But they're like insufferable with that knowledge. They're insufferable because they want you to know. They're telling you that they know everything. They don't really get a chance to show it, but just trust them on that. Whereas a character, like an actual brainiac like Purah, she'll just start talking about her plan and her designs. She won't go into techno babble. You can just tell. She knows her stuff. She doesn't need to tell you anything because she's already shown you what you needed to know. Goddamn. What a gal. What a gal. I've always been quite fond of the Sheikah people. And then Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda, Age of Calamity, and Breath of the Wild, and then Tears of the Kingdom, they established that when Impa was younger, she was actually quite the looker. And then Purah, in both Age of Calamity and Tears of the Kingdom, she's quite attractive too. And then Paya, she's cute too. So it got me thinking, maybe in Zelda canon, Sheikah people are just very attractive people. Like I'm just kind of stating what I feel is obvious. Shit. Yeah. Done my... I'm gonna have to it's difficult to draw, and no, I think I'm doing an alright job. Yeah, I think I'm doing okay. It's difficult to draw and talk at the same time. But at the same time, as I say that, I do that regularly, where I just kind of talk out loud. But then I have to be, sometimes I'm working things through my head out loud and in my head while I draw on a typical day. Usually like things I get paid to draw and things I want to draw. I'm not going too much into detail about what exactly I get paid to draw. I try to work things in my head. They're very personal things that people don't really need to know. So when I slip into, I guess, the flow state, I have to be very careful that I don't mutter something I shouldn't. I think each and every time I've streamed a drawing stream, I have done a fantastic job, if I do say so myself. There she has these goggles. Everybody calls, there's this girl named Josha. That is like her diminutive companion. She's a little girl, Chica. Can't remember what it was I wanted to say about Joshu. Alrighty. So I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna head to the bathroom. Yeah, I don't go to auto meetings anymore. I'm going to the bathroom. And I will be right back. Yeah, I'll be right back. Now, where's the text that I usually use? There it is. BRB bathroom urgent. Yeah, now it looks like I have like dysentery or something. Oh. All right, I'll see you. I'll be right back, guys. I'm back. Yeah, my sleep schedule is all messed up. No, bring it back. Sorry, I accidentally closed one of my sources. Shit. There we go. Alright. So we'll go back to bed. Oh no, the hands are okay. Yeah. Pop, 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 pop. Hold on. Do. Yeah, sounds fine. Get to her eye. Which I've neglected. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna do this. Or draw, I mean. No, the stream is what I mean. So I'm starting to like drift in and out of the ability to make sense. Scary. The dangers of doing something like this in the middle of the night. Start to drift away. Just kind of the point. I kind of like it. I like this. It's enough practice. I think I could be really, really good. Until then, I can only really do what I can. I think, really, that's all we can do. That's all we can realistically do as people, as humans. We do our best. There we go. I wouldn't really call it an obsession. I just really like the character is all. Her eyes are a little strange now. I think this one's a little too high. Bring that down. To the other eye. Should be okay. Yeah. And we'll just thicken the eyelash again. She has very thick eyelashes. Oh, and another general rule that I follow when drawing that I learned in class is to not look directly at the line you're drawing. try to get a good idea of the general picture of what you're trying. It'll help you. I don't know what'll help. It'll prevent things that look odd. Might save you some time if you catch on to it early. Let's try this. Big sleepy. Oh man, okay. Because all of a sudden everything in my body feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. Hold on, there's one more thing I want to do and then I'll head out. One more thing I need to sketch. It's on her vest thing. And I think the next time I stream this, start with the yeah, this'll do. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. Oh yeah, one thing I mentioned earlier but I never really got around to it. Somebody pointed out that in her original design she had three ropes on her outfit. But then in the adult design, she has those 3 ropes again, but the bottom one is undone. They absolutely knew what they were doing. And I think the implication is the vest holds everything together. But the third one, if she put it on, it would make things too tight and uncomfortable. So she doesn't do that one. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been fun. Hope you guys have had fun watching. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to call it here. Made some good progress. Had some fun. Made some funny. Shared some stories. Talked about movies, which is always a pleasure. I think moving forward, I'm gonna have to be a little more lenient on the rules because now I'm a little curious. No, I think I was all right with the rules. But moving forward, I'm gonna be a little more loosey-goosey. I'm gonna be having a little more fun with this stream. I think it's moving forward, it has to be about fun. Because if it ain't fun, there's no point. There's no point in doing things like this. I'm certainly not in the business to get famous. That's for damn sure. I'm just here to, do a thing. Spend some time with people. And just do enough of it and just hope that more people come. Even if it's a handful. It'd be nice. I feel like I'm slowly but surely reaching that. Very slow, but growth is growth. So, that being said, I'm Red Deer. Thank you for coming. And I hope to see you again soon. Monday, I will be continuing this to Tuesday, I believe I would like to get back to playing video games, but I'm not too sure. We'll see how that goes. And Friday night, I think, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll decide on, what day is it? Yeah, I'll decide on Sunday, tomorrow. Until then, hope you guys have a good night. I'll see ya. Bye-bye.